So one of the things I have to do working in football media is I have to work with people like him. Does that remind you of anything?
So one of the worst things about working in football media is I have to spend time with people like him.
Because it reminds me about that wonderful time in May last year when I came in to speak to Flav after he drew 2-2 with Spurs. But I'm not going to rub it in. I'm nice.
Well, I love that game. It's one of the best games I've ever seen Spurs play in.
You're right?
I've been better. We practically tore you apart physically.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
It was a good day.
We surrendered the league, but Eric Dyer pretty much destroyed during the entire team on his own.
I remember I was sat there just watching that and it was mad. But
Right.
anyway, obviously we're here to talk about the fact that we're playing Spurs on Saturday in the late kick-off. So there's only one person I could speak to, this man here. But we're gonna just run through how Spurs have been doing this season, and then so you guys get an idea of how it's been, obviously since they became third in the two-horse race and stuff. But obviously, Flav, talk me through it. I mean, you made some signings in the summer. You looked all right. You're still unbeaten in the league.
Yep. We've been all right. I mean, horrendous in Europe, absolutely appalling. But in the league, by and large, we've been okay. We've not been getting results, but we haven't been losing. It's a very different Tottenham to what I grew up with. We signed Janssen, who's just done nothing really. He's strong, he can hold the ball up well, but he hasn't kicked on at all. We've suffered massively with injuries. Alderweireld, Dembele hasn't been fit most of the season. Kane's obviously been out for 7 or 8 weeks, just coming back in now, but isn't match fit. Ali's been out, Lamella's been out. I mean, I hate to blame injuries, but it's hard to cope with that much, that many key players going out. Spurs fans are starting to get a little bit annoyed, a little bit rattled. I think that kind of abandonment of cup football has kind of rankled with a lot of Spurs fans because we've always been famous for doing pretty well in the cups, and we've always enjoyed our European away days, and now they won't be in the Champions League, they'll be in Europa League. But it's just one of those things. We've been playing all right. We've had some good victories away at Stoke 4-0, beat Man City at home. We smashed Man City at home. Actually, you can dominated them pretty much. There's a good team in Tottenham. We just for multiple reasons it hasn't quite kicked off just yet. But we're a couple points outside the top 4. I think 3 off top. So you can't be too disappointed. Yeah.
Well, there are obviously, like you said, the players you mentioned like Mellors, Harry Kane, Ali, Alderweireld. Like you said, there is a team. There is a team. But yesterday, on the tube home, I was reading the Evening Standard, and they were saying, the Stats Spurs team it could turn into a team which could choke. Are you worried going into this game? Do you think the team's going to be batting for blood, or do you think it's going to be a case of you're worried that something might go very, very wrong
against Chelsea?
Yeah.
Our problems are not necessarily with the mental aptitude of the team. It's the fact that our defence is completely obliterated. We've got Wimmer and Dyer as our 2 centre backs. They're 3rd and 4th choice. Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Vertonghen's going to have to play left back because we've got no Danny Rose, we've got no Davies either. So we've got no left back. We've got a makeshift left back. We've got an inexperienced Wimmer who's okay, but playing next to Dyer. Going forward, you're going to give us all sorts of problems. That's our problem, not our mental strength. If we had Alderweireld and Vertonghen, Rose and Walker at the back, I'd be much more comfortable. Before West Ham, probably had the best defence in the league. Don't look like conceding when Alderweireld plays. He's not playing, so we've got to cope somehow. Chelsea have been phenomenal in the last 6 games. As much as it pains me to say it, you're not conceding goals, you're scoring goals. It's going to be a tough game. It's not about our mental strength, it's about how we cope with our losses against the form side in the country.
Well, obviously, with your defensive issues, and like you're saying, you've got a makeshift back 4, obviously Dyer in the England team and obviously in the Spurs team, if you were going to put a defensive midfielder in, he'd be the first name on the team sheet, I'm guessing. If he's playing at centre-half, what's the team going to be looking like if it's so makeshift?
Well, Dyer hasn't been getting into our centre defensive midfielder. We've had Wanyama and Dembele. They've been our first 2 starting. So Dyer's been, only time he's played at Tottenham this season as a centre-back when Alderweireld went off. The first 6 or 7 games he didn't play first 5 games he didn't play for Tottenham. So it isn't an issue going, in the position as forward of the defence. It's just that Dyer's strongest position is as a CDM and not a centre back. He's kind of like a backup centre back. but we're forced to use him because, again, Alderweireld is out, and Alderweireld is probably the best player at Tottenham, him and Dembele. So the forward line, forward from defence, our team will be as strong as it possibly can be. On paper, we've got issues with fitness. We've just played 2 90-minute games. Kane's just come back from injury and played 2 90-minute games as well. So I don't know if he's even going to start. I think Janssen might start, but we'll see.
Well, like you were saying, if Harry Kane's not going to start and Janssen's going to start, you saying he's really good at holding up the ball. Is obviously because...
Well, he's not really good. That's one of his strengths.
Okay,
one of the few strengths I've seen.
Okay, so one of the few strengths of Janssen is holding up the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the 3 at the back, even though it has been solid, for me, I feel this is the game where we could concede, because going on the wings, you've got some good pace, you've got some good technical players. Do you reckon, obviously you're not Pochettino, but do you reckon that could be the potential game plan where you might try and expose us on the wings and then sort of maybe cross the ball in and try and get Janssen to get his head in it or something?
I don't know. We struggle against 3-4-3, and that's Conte's formation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been playing 3-4-3 at the minute.
Yeah, so every time we've had a team come up us who played 3-4-3, we've struggled. And someone who plays it as well as Chelsea do, we've struggled. I can't see us getting anything really out of this game. Maybe a draw. I'd take a draw now, pretty much. But you never know. It is a derby. There will be a lot of emotions will be running high. I don't know about using width to exploit, because all of our width comes from our fullbacks. Walker's playing on the right, but we'll have no one on the left that can get forward. So I think it's going to be about grinding this result out, sneaking a goal, getting a goal from somewhere, maybe a free kick or a penalty or whatever it is, a set piece, because we haven't been scoring goals from open play since Kane hasn't been there. We're at sorts at the moment. We're out of sorts at the moment, and it will come together. It's just you kind of managing players through games and injuries. And whereas last season we kind of were quite lucky, more or less, out of injuries. This season we've had them bad. So I think it's going to be a dogged performance from Tottenham. We're going to be difficult to beat. Hopefully, I think we'll probably set out quite defensively, and see if we can hit you on a break and score a goal. Because Son, he's quick. We've got pace in Kadu if he's fit, and Kane is always a danger even if he's half fit. So we could, if we find a way of scoring goals against this very dogged and defensively sound Chelsea team, then we've got to take our chances when they come. But our main concentration will be not conceding, I think. Yeah.
Well, you've heard it from Flav, you've heard it from a Spurs fan, so make sure obviously you go over to Ball Street to see more of Flav, because he does Talking Balls on Friday. That's right. Which is amazing, which is brilliant.
Long Ball Street podcast, have a listen to that.
That's
we've
that
got,
as well.
We've got a great episode with Michael Dewberry, actually.
Oh, yeah, that is a really good point. He's talking about this Dewberry. If you're too young to remember, he was a Chelsea centre-half. Yep. Well, I was young. I wasn't even born, I think, when he was playing. Yeah. But
it was him and John Terry took his place in the centre-back at that time. And we've got an interview with, I might pronounce his name, Paul Canaville.
Canaville, yeah.
Yeah, he's the first black Chelsea outfield player, I think, or maybe the first player.
First black Chelsea
good, very good winger in the 70s or 80s rather. So that's going to be fascinating. I don't know if you know about his story, but it's incredible. Yeah.
So guys, make sure you check out Long Ball Street, subscribe to Ball Street, obviously also subscribe to 100% Chelsea. All social media links are down in the description for Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. Also make sure you check out the Orange Segment podcast. There'll be a link for that down in the description for this week's episode. But until then guys, take care and I'll see you later.
All right.
Cheers, man.
No problem.